Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, a cautionary tale why a former tow truck driver warns against increasing highway speed limits. Losing a lane, neighbors collecting signatures to stop the city from building a new bike path. And mosquito buzz, how many of the little bloodsuckers you can expect to see this summer.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
A man from Fort Saskatchewan who nearly died on the QE2 highway is warning drivers to be careful. The former tow truck operator is worried about the increased speed limit on a portion of the highway south of Leduc. He says it's only a matter of time before someone else gets hurt. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
That accident has changed my life, not in a good way, forever.
It was December 2018. Calvin Finnegan set up his tow truck to warn traffic. When he got out to help his colleague on the call, he heard an approaching semi, then the impact.
That first semi moved over for us, and then out of the snow cloud of him came another semi. He hit both trucks and the truck that moved over. And then third semi had nowhere to go.
Finnegan and his colleague ran into the median. That's when the third semi, seen on the left, hit him.
Tried to yell for help because I couldn't get up. And thankfully, I felt the glove of my partner brush the snow off my face, and him and one of the truck drivers, they ended up pulling me out of the ditch into safety.
He suffered life-altering injuries.
Injuries that will never heal. I have severe nerve damage in my left arm. I have severe pain in my shoulder that prevents me from doing all sorts of things, playing with my kids.
The crash happened on the same stretch of the QE2, where the province recently increased the speed limit to 120 kilometers per hour.
I think we're going to get a lot more people doing that 140 kilometer hour speed down that highway.
Finnegan, who is now a semi-driver, says people don't pay enough attention to be increasing limits, especially where there's only 2 lanes.
That third lane can just be a free flow lane, and I think that would be a lot safer. And I think that needs to be taken into consideration before we talk about increasing the speed limit on that highway.
The new speed limit is being piloted on a 22-kilometer stretch and expected to last through the end of the summer. Finnegan hopes it's only temporary.
Be a little bit more patient. They have families they want to go home to. And the maybe 5 minutes it takes for you to get past the emergency vehicle or past that big truck, it can be life-changing.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The opposition NDP says it has evidence indicating 2 people in the Premier's inner circle attended an online Centurion Project meeting. That group is accused of using a leaked voter list to grow the separatist movement. The breach compromised the information of nearly 3 million Albertans. The Alberta NDP says it obtained a recording of the April 16th meeting attended by 80 people. It has screenshots of attendees named Rob Smith and Aarondeep Sandhu. Those are the names of the UCP president and UCP caucus director of stakeholder relations. The NDP also says the information of former Premier Jason Kenney was searched and shared at the meeting.
The issue is whether someone who has direct relations to Danielle Smith knew what was going on and did nothing. And if in fact it's illegal to do that.
Naheed Nenshi says after learning about the meeting from a source the next day, the Alberta NDP contacted the RCMP. A statement from the UCP caucus says, quote, caucus staff regularly attend events of political interest, including the meeting in question. The organizers of this meeting were adamant the information being used was obtained legally, and staff had no reason to believe the website in question was unlawful, end quote. Meantime, the Justice Minister says he doesn't know why Elections Alberta did not launch an investigation after a March 31st complaint.
The initial complaint was originally dismissed, and then 20 days later, a reverse course took place where Elections Alberta then recommenced the investigation. Well, that's the question that I think we and all Albertans want to know. We want to know what happened between those 2 dates.
Last year, the chief electoral officer wrote to MLAs concerned new legislation made the threshold for investigation too high. In a statement last week, Elections Alberta said it needs the kind of evidence police would require to arrest someone in a criminal matter. Mickey Amory says the government will wait until investigations into the data breach are complete before considering legislative changes. Another neighborhood is fighting incoming bike lanes. People living in Grosvenor are collecting signatures to stop the changes they say will cause traffic and parking problems. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
It's sort of like came out as a pronouncement rather than a, hey, here's what we're thinking about doing.
A petition is circulating in Grosvenor trying to slow down new traffic measures the city says are coming this spring. Neighbors say consultation from 2022 is outdated. While Anna Hayes doesn't disagree with bike-friendly infrastructure, she thinks what's already there is good enough.
Give us some other options, design options, and maybe give us a cost breakdown of this, because I think the data doesn't support the number of cyclists that are coming through here.
The project would add bike lanes to 104th Avenue and several other roadways in Grosvenor, changing some roads to one-ways and removing street parking on others, including roads where new infill units are set to go up.
This is going to be no parking here, and you're going to have 18 new housing units, and assuming that none of them are going to have a car is ridiculous.
We believe that a lot of these changes are quite severe and unnecessary. For example, the school in the neighborhood, you will not be able to get to that from both the north and east directions.
Mayor Andrew Knack says projects like these are part of building out the city's bike lane network. He says the city can always make tweaks based on recent feedback.
Certain plans require a lot of consultation because there's a high level amount of work. Something that's smaller scale might be more of a sharing of information than it is a shaping of the project itself.
Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen says while bike lanes have their place, his government is planning legislation to restrict where cities can put them.
To take away the lanes that those drivers need to drive on is asinine. So that's something that we're looking at legislation that can actually bring some sanity to bike lanes that are ripping up roadways.
People who live in Grosvenor are hopeful the city will hear their concerns before construction starts.
Done. High five.
Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Sherwood Park will be home to the first provincial forensic DNA laboratory in Western Canada. The nearly $9 million lab will be located inside the Alberta Law Enforcement Response Team's building. The Minister of Public Safety says Alberta sends nearly 2,900 DNA samples to the RCMP National Forensic Lab every year. That's nearly 8 a day. Edmonton's police chief says not having to wait in the national queue for results will speed up investigations.
Faster turnaround helps everyone. Investigators can follow leads and maintain momentum. Victims get answers sooner, and cases can move through the justice system with less delay. Keeping DNA work in the province is also fiscally responsible.
The province says each test sent out costs around $2,500. A provincial lab would reduce that cost. The lab will open in phases. By 2031, services are expected to expand to include serious crimes such as homicides and sexual assaults. 2 more Edmonton hospitals are implementing a one-bag policy for people who visit the emergency department. Alberta Health Services says people in the emergency rooms at the University of Alberta Hospital and the Stollery are only allowed to bring 1 bag. Exceptions will be made for people who need extra bags for medical devices or supplies for childcare. At the U of A, people can also only bring 1 support person. That rule will not apply at the Stollery. The same rule was put in place at the Royal Alexandra Hospital last week. An assault at that hospital in April prompted the new bag and visitor policy. Alberta Wildfire has cancelled an alert for Parkland County near Devon. The province issued the alert on Sunday because of a fire near Range Road 10 and Bew-Rand Estates. Alberta Wildfire recommends staying prepared in case of fire as the season continues. The wildfire that forced nearly 90,000 people from their homes a decade ago was a wake-up call for people who organize firefighting efforts. Fort McMurray and Alberta wildfire officials say a lot has changed since the Horse River fire destroyed more than 2,400 homes and businesses in 2016. The season now officially starts 1 month earlier in March. This ensures staff are hired and trained earlier. Equipment can also get out to high-risk areas sooner. Christy Tucker says improving communication between Alberta Wildfire and community leaders was a major lesson from 2016.
We're moving into unified command. We're working closely with all the other departments in the Provincial Emergency Coordination Centre. We are doing exercises with our municipal partners so that communication, you know who to talk to, you know when you need to talk to, they know who to talk to.
Equipment and attitudes have also changed as wildfire continues to be a regular threat in Alberta. CTV's Jeremy Thompson will have more in the second part of Fort McMurray, a decade after disaster, coming up on CTV News at 6. All right, let's head down to the TELUS World of Science now, where they're teaching an old dog some new tricks. Josh, I hope you're learning lots at the new dog exhibit they have there.
I am learning lots. I'm reading all about all the science of dogs. It's Dogs, a Science Tale. Down here at the TELUS World of Science Edmonton. Just opened a couple days ago. I've got Trevor Prentice with TELUS World of Science Edmonton with me. This has been an active last couple of days for you guys. I would imagine this would be a popular exhibit this summer as well.
Yes, definitely. We just opened on Saturday, and it's been go, go, go ever since. Pretty busy. This is Dogs, a Science Tale here at TELUS World of Science, and so much fun stuff to do. Anyone who loves dogs or even animals definitely wants to come and check this out.
Yeah, I mean, really interactive, hands-on. I mean, we were building the... your dog is falling apart there. We were playing Jeopardy with some dog...
Jeopardy.
Right, Jeopardy. And we'll show you a couple of the cool interactive exhibits in a little bit. We should mention, though, even though this is about dogs, if you have a dog, maybe don't break it down.
Yes, this is a dog exhibit about dogs for humans, so make sure to leave your dogs at home. That said, we will have some live dogs throughout the run on select dates. So we're partnering with some different groups in Edmonton, Edmonton Humane Society, SPCA, Edmonton Police, and they're bringing some dogs out on certain dates. So you may get a chance to see some live dogs as well.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about this is included in your admission.
Yeah, it's great. So anyone who comes to TELUS World of Science, it's included in your general admission. You can come check this out and try out all the fun stuff, learn a little bit about dogs, and hang out with your family.
Do you have one thing that you learned about a dog so far the last couple of days that you didn't know about dogs?
Oh, it's hard to narrow it just to one thing. I mean, one of the coolest things that I've been learning is about sort of the history of humans and dogs together, because humans have really shaped the evolution of dogs from way back when it was more wolves and other canines. Some of those wolves got closer to the human settlements and they're eating the food. So anyway, we've really shaped, even to modern day, with different dog breeds and breeding them. It's been a co-evolution.
Sure, you can learn about all of those things and more, and have some hands-on fun down here at the TELUS World of Science Edmonton. Trevor, thank you. That's awesome. We'll talk again at 6. Let's quickly talk a little bit about the weather. It was another slightly cooler than average day today. Not super cold, but 13 degrees is likely going to end up as the daytime high for the second straight day. We're at 12 degrees right now. The wind has been a lot calmer, though, which made it feel a little nicer than yesterday. 15, the average daytime high. We should be above that tomorrow as some heat starts to push in. It'll be cool once again in the morning, around the freezing mark, but up to around 20 tomorrow afternoon. The wind may gust a little bit around lunchtime, but for most of the day shouldn't be too much of an issue. There is a slight chance of some showers tomorrow evening. We'll talk more about that, and I'll race some dogs later in the newscast.
Nothing rough about that forecast. All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, a cultural celebration, how Mexicans in Edmonton are celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
There will soon be a buzz around Edmonton with mosquito season quickly approaching. CTV's Curtis Gooderum explains why the little pests may be more prevalent this year.
With the weather warming up, Edmontonians will soon be seeing and swatting mosquitoes.
I really hope there will be less, yes. We play quite a bit of outdoor sports, so it'd be nice to not be bitten or eaten alive.
We seem to be getting a little more humidity, rain, that kind of thing, and so maybe this year we'll have more.
The City of Edmonton's pest management coordinator says while the past few springs have been fairly dry, there's been more moisture this year.
We are seeing more water, more hatching than we've seen in a couple of years, but it's still relatively low for the Edmonton area.
Edmonton has more than 30 mosquito species, which rely on moisture to breed.
Nope, she's biting now.
Another factor is the breeze.
Winds during the daytime tend to keep the mosquitoes from flying, especially in the spring.
For anyone concerned about swarms of mosquitoes in their yard or gardens, the city has some tips on how to keep them away.
Making sure that things like eaves troughs are cleaned out, bird baths, old tires, playground equipment, anything that collects water for even up to a week can potentially be a habitat for those mosquitoes. So you want to make sure that all of that is cleared.
There are alternative ways to keep mosquitoes away, including fly zappers, bug swatters, and insect repellent. Anything to avoid being swarmed this summer. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
It's a fiesta downtown as crowds celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Ice District Plaza is hosting live music, Mexican food vendors, and cultural performances. Cinco de Mayo marks Mexico's victory over French forces at the Battle of Puebla in 1862. Organizers say the event is a way to celebrate Mexican culture and bring the community together.
For me, it's amazing because I see how much they care about us, right? And then I see how much they want to remember the culture, and then that unify people, unify families, and the community, because we are, in the community here in Edmonton. Yeah, we are serving the community in Edmonton. That's why.
Activities are also happening this evening. Admission is free and open to all ages. Still to come tonight on CTV News, summer schedule when you can start booking campsites in Jasper National Park.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You can book a camping spot in Jasper National Park starting this week. Reservations can be booked for Whistler's Campground starting tomorrow. Booking for Wapiti and Miette campgrounds open next Wednesday. Parks Canada released new photos of what the campsites look like now as the area recovers from the 2024 wildfire. Staff expect the campsites to be snatched up quickly, so it's reminding people to reserve before heading out. Well, hopefully it's not raining. Cats and dogs. Josh is down at the Tell Us World of Science for the Dog Science Tales. Josh, before we get to the forecast, you're going to put your speed to the test.
Right. Yeah, so one of the things we mentioned, this is very interactive, this exhibit. You can race. There's a speed gun at the end, and then you can see how fast you are compared to certain dogs. So, okay, Matt thinks I'm about as fast as maybe a pug. Let's see. 12.4. That's pretty good. That's better. That's my fastest time. Woodman, that is slower than a Chihuahua. It's about a Pomeranian. It's also slower than a typical 10-year-old child.
Quicker than me, I promise you that, buddy.
Sounds about right. I might have jumped the gun there as well. It was a DQ.
Anything to get the edge.
Take a look outside. Yeah, take a look outside right now with the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed right edge free. 12 degrees. Man, 12 miles per hour, 12 degrees. It's all coming up 12s. 11 to the south in Red Deer. Look at to the west. Some warmer temperatures, 17 in Grand Prairie, 18 in Jasper. And temperatures in the 8 or 9 degree range, which is a lot warmer than yesterday, but still on the cool side in eastern Alberta. Lots of sunshine from Edmonton off to the east. A little bit of thin cloud cover pushing into northwestern Alberta through this afternoon. We'll see that cloud cover spread across northern parts of the province overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. But it's this low pressure system that'll develop in the lee of the Rockies. That's what gives us the chance for some scattered showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm tomorrow, mainly in parts of western Alberta, but even here in the Edmonton area, supper time or early evening, you get a chance of a scattered shower. It's not going to be anything really heavy or significant in the way of moisture, and that goes for the chance Thursday evening, as well as the chance Sunday evening. Mother's Day looks pretty good, but in the evening hours, you might see a scattered shower. This is the big story here. In the green zone today, so still on the cool side, but there's the warm air starting to press in from the west tomorrow, and once it takes hold, should stick around through the rest of this week and into the weekend. 1 tomorrow morning, so again, around the freezing mark to start the day. Handful of degrees below zero in eastern Alberta. Grand Prairie starts at 3 degrees, gets up to 23 tomorrow afternoon with a chance of showers. Into the mid-teens, Fort McMurray, Cold Lake, Edson at 22 degrees, 22 as well for Red Deer for a daytime high, and Lloydminster into the mid-teens, so a little warmer than it was today. We'll see clear skies through this evening and overnight tonight. That Cloud cover will start to increase as the day goes on tomorrow. Around lunchtime, you might see some gusts to around 20 or 30 kilometers per hour, but it shouldn't be a really gusty day tomorrow. I think that's coming for Thursday and Friday. High of 20 with the chance of some scattered showers around supper time or early in the evening, and then another slight chance there for Thursday in the late afternoon or early evening hours. Gusts Thursday, Friday to about 40 or 50 kilometers per hour, but nice warm temperatures, somewhere in the 18 to 22 range for the next 3 or 4 days, and up to about 23 or 24 on Mother's Day. Again, we're down at the TELUS World of Science Edmonton. Come check out the Dogs, a Science Tale exhibit down here, and race the imaginary dogs, see how fast you are.
Maybe you can be top dog too. All right, Josh, thank you. Hundreds of high school students got hands-on experience in the energy sector at NAIT today. Students took a closer look at careers that may be available to them in the energy and natural resource industries. They learned about things like DNA and microbiology analysis, how to operate drilling simulators, power lab operations, and electrical equipment testing.
Knowledge is power, and so we want them to see really what a day in the life of being in the energy and natural resources sector is like, because that's what we do at NAIT. We prepare students to hit the ground running when they get into industry.
The dean says more than 80% of students in the School of Energy and Natural Resources get jobs right after graduating. When we return, K-Day's Countdown. The festival reveals its concert lineup while handing out summer swag.
And we think there's a little bit of something for everybody. It's going to bring a lot of summer fun to K-Days.
Well, many people are looking for a fresh start in the spring, and on Wednesday, we examine what happens in your brain as seasons change and how you can capitalize for your physical and mental health. We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
Well, it's still more than 2 months away. Explore Edmonton is already hyping up the crowd for K-Days.
There you go, guys.
People lined up outside of Ace Coffee downtown this morning for their chance to win free K-Day swag, merchandise, and tickets by spinning the prize wheel. The summer festival will have rides, food, and entertainment, all the summer staples. Explore Edmonton says when it comes to K-Day's concerts, there's something for everyone this year.
So we start off really strong with Ty Dolla $ign. We have Down with Webster, Mother, Miko, Connor Price, Peach Pit, Baby No Money, Noah Cyrus, Pennywise, and we're wrapping it up really strong with the Beaches on the final night.
Tickets for the K-Days concerts go on sale this Friday. K-Days itself runs from July 17th until the 26th. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.